Steelers could trade number 21 pick to AFC team for $33 million quarterback. The Pittsburgh Steelers are still awaiting a decision from Aaron Rodgers, who is still weighing his options. Sign with the team, retire, or pursue another opportunity in the NFL. The veteran and the Steelers are expected to reach an agreement for the 2025 season, making him the team starter and bringing experience to a franchise that has been seeking stability at quarterback since the retirement of Ben Roethlisberger. However, a twist could be on the horizon. ESPN analyst Bill Barnwell suggested that the Steelers could be planning a bold move to further bolster the offensive line, acquiring Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson. According to Barnwell, Pittsburgh would be willing to offer the 21st overall pick in the 2025 draft, along with a conditional 2027 pick, in exchange for Richardson and a second-round selection, 45th overall in 2025. This possibility raises questions about the team's future and the franchise's long-term strategy. Richardson would fit well into the Steelers' offense. His strong arm would pair well with DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith has used running concepts with quarterbacks before, and with Richardson he could explore them even more, Barnwell said. If the Steelers do sign Aaron Rodgers, Richardson would not have to take over as the starting quarterback right away and could enjoy a crucial year of learning under one of the best quarterbacks in league history. This would allow him to develop with less pressure, preparing to take over the position in 2026. Richardson's path to the NFL has been turbulent. The 22-year-old quarterback arrived with great expectations to the Indianapolis Colts, being selected with the 4th overall pick in the 2023 draft. However, his journey has been marked by difficulties. He missed much of his rookie season in 2023 due to a shoulder injury and struggled in 2024, recording just 8 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. At one point, he was benched in favor of Joe Flacco, and he also had to deal with further injuries, which hurt his continuity and confidence on the field. Now, with the Colts' recent signing of Daniel Jones, it is clear that the franchise is not completely convinced that Richardson is the definitive solution for the quarterback position. Thus, a possible trade could be on the team's radar should an attractive offer come in. For the Steelers, this would be a strategic move. Despite the challenges faced, Richardson remains an incredibly talented athlete with impressive physical abilities and a high ceiling for development. Pittsburgh has been desperately searching for a long-term solution for the position, and a player like Richardson, learning from a veteran of Rodgers' caliber, could finally develop into the quarterback. The franchise needs, however, one obstacle still remains: the price. Barnwell's suggested package, including a first-round pick, may be considered too high for a player who has yet to prove himself in the league. If the Colts are willing to accept a lower compensation, such as a lower pick on day 2 or 3 of the draft, the Steelers should seriously consider acquiring the young quarterback. The final decision will depend on how Pittsburgh wants to shape its future. If Rodgers does sign with the team, Richardson could be a promising prospect to be polished. If not, the Steelers may need to make an even bolder decision to find the right quarterback to lead the franchise for years to come. Steelers' connection could draw Raiders to Pittsburgh. If the Pittsburgh Steelers are still looking for reinforcements at cornerback, one name that could emerge as a viable option is former Las Vegas Raiders player Jack Jones. On April 6th, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported that the Raiders have decided to release Jones after unsuccessful attempts to trade him. According to Rappaport, the cornerback is an intriguing option for a team in need of cornerbacks. While the Steelers don't have a pressing need at the position, adding depth to the roster is always a smart strategy. Additionally, there is one factor that could make it easier for Jones to land in Pittsburgh: his connection to the team's current secondary coach, Gerald Alexander. According to Steelers Now reporter Alan Saunders, Jones served under Alexander's tutelage in 2024 when he was still on the Raiders' coaching staff. The Steelers could potentially be interested in a reunion between Jones and Alexander, who replaced Grady Brown as the Steelers' secondary coach this offseason, Saunders theorized. The reporter also noted that Jones had the most snaps of his career under Alexander. Jack Jones to the Raiders: talent but inconsistencies. While Jones was the Raiders' starting defensive end in 2024, his best NFL performance came in a rotational role in previous years. During his first 2 seasons in the league, most notably with the New England Patriots, he held opposing quarterbacks to a passer rating below 70.0, a respectable number for a young defender. However, as he gained more responsibility in 2024, his flaws began to become more apparent. Despite recording 3 interceptions and 10 pass breakups, he allowed a 65.9% reception rate to opposing receivers and surrendered 10 touchdowns in coverage. His passer rating allowed jumped to a worrying 115.8. Another major problem was his ability to finish plays. According to Pro Football Focus, PFF, Jones missed 15 tackles throughout the season, an alarming number that represents an error rate of 17.4%. In addition, he was penalized 7 times, compromising the defense in crucial moments. How would Jones fit into the Steelers' roster? Currently, Pittsburgh has already strengthened its secondary in free agency with the signings of Darius Slay and Brandon Eccles. In addition, the team has promising young players such as Joey Porter Jr., Corey Trice Jr., and Beanie Bishop Jr., in addition to veteran James Pierre. Despite this, adding Jones to the group could create healthy competition in training camp, especially for the immediate backup role to Porter and Slay. Eccles, on the other hand, has more experience playing in the slot and could compete with Bishop for a spot in the defensive rotation. A possible Jones signing could also impact the Steelers' strategy in the draft. Many analysts project that the franchise could select a cornerback in the first round, but if Jones is signed, it could allow Pittsburgh to prioritize other areas of need, such as defensive tackle, running back, or even quarterback. Is it worth investing in Jones? The big question is whether the Steelers believe that Gerald Alexander can help Jones correct his inconsistencies and regain the good form he showed at the beginning of his career. If the coach trusts in the player's potential and sees him as a valuable reinforcement, Pittsburgh could consider the signing as a low-risk and potentially high-return bet. With a mixed record in the NFL, Jack Jones is talented, but he needs to improve his discipline and consistency to secure a spot on the roster. If the Steelers decide to invest in the player, he will have another opportunity to prove himself and establish himself as a useful piece of the team's defense.